Yo, once again it's on. Back at you one more again, Realkenz TV and the House Light Kitchen Sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment, definitely share. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. And hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this heat and this action, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive it. Now with no further ado, let's get into this afternoon's video, if you will. You know, on my channel, I try to have fun, but at the same time, pass along a positive message, informative message, if you will. I had someone that actually sent me a text message. And for you all that don't know, I actually left my real phone number. You know, because I understand that there are people going through certain things. And I respond to as many messages as I possibly can. I try to respond to the comments. I try to respond to the messages. And I had an individual send me a message. And he was very, very concerned. He's been convicted of a crime in which he pled guilty to. He told me the circumstances of the case. And basically he was just letting me know that in a sense he was forced to plead guilty for the simple fact that he didn't really have a lot of money to hire an attorney. He had an attorney, but he didn't have the money to continue to pay the attorney. He wanted to go to trial, but he just didn't trust going to trial with the legal aid, court-appointed attorney. So he pled guilty, and unfortunately, he has to go serve 4 years. You know, I really feel compelled to answer as many questions and speak with this guy because I understand what he's going through. And to be perfectly honest, without saying who he is, he's terrified. He's terrified. He has to go to prison. He has to leave his family. So he's asking me these questions. And he said that he was a Jay Williams Let's Live Life fan, supporter, subscriber. And he stumbled upon my channel kind of accidentally, but at the same time, everything happens for a reason. So we text back and forth, and I ended up calling the individual because, you know, texting is kind of, I just picked up the phone. I was at work. You all that follow me, you know where I work at, you know what I do. I DoorDash, and I have a regular job as well. But I took time to call this individual because I actually wanted to speak to him. And it's just a lot easier to speak to somebody opposed to just text messaging. And, you know, he has a family. He has 3 kids. And he's just worried to death, as the average person would be, you know, of going to prison. He's asking me the ins and outs. What do I do? What do I not do? How should I prepare? How can I get through this situation as smoothly as possible? And I told him, I said, I don't have a straightforward, precise, if you will, answer for you. Because you told me where you're located at, but I don't know how their prison system works. But I can tell you this. If any of you are watching this video and you're faced with this unfortunate circumstance, There's a couple things that I can tell you to do. If you're out on bond and you're fighting your case, he said that he has to go back in 3 weeks to turn himself in. There's a lot of things that you can do. There's a silver lining in everything. There's a lot of things you can do to make the situation easier. It's never going to be easy, but you can make it easier. First of all, find out who your, you call the Department of Corrections and you call the jail, and you want to find out what phone carrier that they use. Very important. Because certain jails, I know here in Kentucky, you can have $20,000 on you when you turn yourself in. But you have to have a phone account set up. Most people in Kentucky and in this area use Securus. So you want to call Securus, if that's the phone company that they use, and set up an account and make sure that you have money in your account with, whatever phone company that they use. I'm going to just use Securus, as an example, because that's what they use in Kentucky. Have money on the phone. If you don't have money on the phone, guess what? You can't communicate with anyone. The old days where you call somebody, hello, you have a collect call. Yeah, you're still going to hear that voice, but you can't dial straight through now. And the person accepts the collect call and they pay the bill later. Those days are over with that I've seen. Make sure you have money, plenty of money on the phone if you're able to, which you should be able to, for the simple fact, you've had time to prepare. Make sure that you have plenty of money saved up, because when you go to prison, you're going to need money. Yeah, it's like real life. You're going to need money. They feed you straight crap in there. Now, people say, well, you're going to need money. How much do I need? I would say in prison, if you're able to. Everybody's not able to do this. If you're able to have at least, heck, everything's going up. I would say $75 to $100 a week sent in to you. You can live decent in prison as far as eating. Now, it doesn't include your phone calls. It's just purchasing commissary. Because you have things that they're going to offer in prison too. Like, you might have pizza night. You might have Chinese food night. All of those things cost, extra. You may go to a prison to where you can have your own television. You can buy jogging suits. You can buy, I think you can have 2 pair of shoes, tennis shoes, sneakers, for you all to say sneakers. Certain things, headphones, MP3 players. They used to have the CD players, but now they have the MP3 players. So all of those things help you to get through your prison bid a lot more smooth, and it keeps you out of the way. Because if you have your own TV, guess what? Now you don't have to go in the TV room. It's loud. It's gets a little violent because certain people want to watch this, certain people want to watch that. I've seen people say, okay, ain't nobody watching nothing, and rip the whole cord out of the TV, pour water in the TV. You see all that type of stuff in the TV room. Keeps you out of that environment. Keeps you to where you can just go lay in your rack, which is your bed, but in prison you call it a rack, and just tune everybody out. You can put your headphones on, while you watch TV, or put your headphones on while you listen to music, write your letters, whatever that you want to do. You can tune everybody else out. Get in there and take your classes. Whatever classes they offer, take them. I don't care what classes they offer, take them. I took several substance abuse classes. I don't use drugs. I don't even smoke weed. But guess what? They still help you. It helps you with addiction. Getting money, getting fast money is an addiction. So it's all the same. I took classes. I bettered myself. I went to masonry. I think it's masonry school. I learned how to do a lot of things just to get my mind sharp and keep my focus away from where I was at. It's very important that your family is able to come and visit you. Now, if they're far away, unfortunately, I know the visits may not be as frequent, but communication. You know, letters, they really don't do letters as much anymore now. They have a thing now called JPay where you can just email each other back and forth. But the thing is, all these things cost money. So while you're out on bond and you're actually able to, you know, get your affairs in order, really get your affairs in order, because prison costs money. And it's a whole lot easier to maintain a relationship when you have some money, opposed to if you just in there broke, because now you can't communicate with your wife, your girl, or your kids, or, you know, whatever the case may be. They're stressed, you're stressed, you're not knowing what's going on, there's no money on the phone, so now you pressing her. She's doing the best that she can do, but she's out here doing things on her own because you're gone. That's just the truth of the matter. So if you have the luxury, if you will, of being out for a year and a half, while your case is going on, be putting as much money to the side as you can put to the side, because you're going to need it. Your family's going to need it. The kids are going to need things. Things are going to come up. The car's going to break down. The furnace may break. I mean, you know, just everyday things in life. So I would definitely suggest that, you know, have you some money. You know, when you go in, just be a stand-up guy. I can't tell you how it's going to be. Different places, you know, they do things differently. You may have somebody at the door that challenges you right there. They'll challenge you right there. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's a possibility. Stand up for yourself and fight for yourself. Because if you don't, they're never going to leave you alone. Fight for yourself. Even if you lose, guess what they're going to say? Man, homie got heart. At least homie takes up for itself. And you're going to gain the respect of people. Don't go in there gambling. A lot of people like to play poker. I played poker. It's a great way to kill time, but it's a great way to get your noodle pushed all the way backwards. When I say your noodle pushed all the way backwards, it's basically saying get your wig split, but we don't really say wig split on this channel. You know what I mean? So we gonna say get your noodle pushed all the way backwards, because you'll get split wide open on that poker table. Stay off the basketball courts. If you want to go shoot around, there's a couple people just shooting around, but when they get into competitive, you know, running whole court and 3-on-3, 4-on-4, stay away from that. Too many bad attitudes, too many egos, too many people think they LeBron James. Stay away from that basketball court. Stay away from drugs, obviously. Definitely stay away from drugs. Don't borrow from people. If you loan to people, don't even expect it back. You give somebody a 50 cent or a dollar noodle and they don't give it back, cool. So like I said, if you're going to give it to them, don't even expect it back. And if they give it back, it's a great thing. And definitely stay away from, how can I put this? Definitely stay away from any sort of sexual encounters. Any sort of sexual activity. Lose your life over, you know, people have real life boyfriends in prison, man. You lose your life over it. Definitely stay away from that. But if you do those things and just just mind your business, everything's gonna be okay, man. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be back out to your family. And just learn from your mistakes. Learn, you know, I never asked you exactly what you did. It's not my business. Learn from whatever situation that got you in this situation. Learn from it. Because if you don't, you'll find yourself right back. See, when you're in prison, it's so easy to say all the right things. And that's why a lot of female correction officers, they fall for inmates. You know why? Because they're out here in the real world living life, and if they have a husband or a boyfriend, a lot of times it's a husband, he's living life. He's not really, you know, doing the things that perhaps he once did. And you have this inmate that's saying all the right things to you. Hello, beautiful. You know, it doesn't start out like that, but it gradually gets to that. Hello, beautiful. How you doing today? How was your day? What'd you do when you went home last night? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I don't mean any disrespect, but I always have a lending ear for you. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on. And that's how it starts. Then the next thing you know, they in a full-fledged relationship. And next thing you know, he's asking her to bring in certain things, illegal items, rather it be drugs, rather it be, a cell phone or whatever. She done fell for him, so she's doing it. Next thing you know, she's getting walked off the yard in cuffs. This is how it works, man. I ain't hating. I'm just what it is, man. In most cases, most people, they're gonna talk. They can't just keep something to themselves. So I'm just trying to give you all a basic understanding of prison, the prison life, how it works. Just get in there and just stay humble, man. That's the best advice I can give you. Stay humble. Do what they tell you to do as far as the programs that they recommend, and go above and beyond and take any and every program that you can possibly take, so that when you do go up for parole, they say, okay, this guy hasn't just been in here, laying dormant. He's been in here busy. He's been in here actually trying to, better himself, because at the end of the day, the goal is to get back home to your family as quickly as possible, but yet with integrity. Don't let nobody trick you out of your time. Don't go into prison trying to get no shanks and things that you see on television. And most prisons are not even like that. Are there prisons like that? Absolutely. Look up Big Sandy Federal Prison in Kentucky. Big Sandy. Like I'm lying? Look it up. I've never been to Big Sandy. I'm not trying to imply that I've been. Never want to go to Big Sandy. I've never had a federal case. But I'm simply saying, prison is full of violence. No matter where you at, the county jail is violence. You just playing with a person yesterday, y'all was joking and laughing. Now you say the same thing the next day. The next thing you know, you done got your wig split or your noodle pushed all the way backwards. And you didn't even know it was coming. Pause. So just understand that. It's not a game. Being incarcerated is not a game. There's nothing fun about it. You may have some moments that seem, man, this ain't so bad. But it's just a moment. It is that bad. You're not there with your family. Your family's missing. Your kids is missing. Done over 10 years in the Department of Corrections. Sucks. That's why I call, prison sucks. I hate it. Hated it. Hopefully, I've helped some people out. Hopefully I've been able to allow people to understand what the process is like, exactly what it is in there. It's not a game. It's not a joke. Definitely not a joke, man. And everything's gonna be all right, man. If you need any advice, man, hit me up. And I told this individual, man, I'm gonna keep up with him. I'm gonna stay in contact. I'm gonna write you. He has my information. And I'm gonna help him get through it as best as I possibly can. Realkenz TV. Hopefully you liked the video. Feel free to comment, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. That post notification. So anytime I bring you this action, this heat, is what? You're amongst the first to receive it. Realkenz TV. We out.